minute.
Today I'm here with Dean. Dean is flying. We're over the bay. It's a very cool place to fly. It's really pretty. A little hazy today, isn't it, Dean?
A little bit hazy, but we've got all we need for VFR today.
That's right. So we're gonna do some BFR work today. I know Dean already got his BFR. Was it last month? Did you do it?
Last month?
Right.
Right before vacation.
Which he had an epic vacation. He went to Nova Scotia, which is where he's from, eh?
That is not where I'm from, actually. I'm from Montreal, but my family is from Nova Scotia, and we all say "eh."
I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh?
I know it, all my friends in Canada say eh.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. Even though we'll all admit we don't do it.
But it's like being from the South, and everybody down there says y'all.
Y'all.
Oh. Or being from Wisconsin and saying, "Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?"
Wisconsin. So we're going to do some BFR stuff and do some maneuvers.
The nice thing with the haze and the lack of clouds, as long as you can tolerate the visibility being not perfect, it makes for a perfectly smooth day. There's no bumps. It's smooth as silk.
That's right. Smooth as silk. Oh, and they got that JPI. It's a really, really nice instrument.
Well, this airplane, we managed to crack 3 cylinders and had to replace 3 cylinders on this airplane. And with the JPI, we quickly found out why. And the reason is because the engine was going over temperature, or the cylinders, I should say, were going over temperature, and we didn't even know it.
There you go.
So $1,700 a piece, and that's not counting the labor to replace the cylinders on these engines. So if it's an airplane or a boat or an RV, expect to spend a lot of money to fix it.
How much was the JPI to have put in the airplane?
JPI all totaled, soup to nuts with the cabling, the labor, the calibration, everything. I believe we were up around, we were close to 2,000, I think, by the time it was all done.
But really, it's going to save you. I mean, you paid $1,700 for 3 different cylinders, right?
For 3 different cylinders, and here's the upside: when the cylinders were bore scoped for the annual this year, all of them looked brand new. So the JPI has definitely paid for itself already, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go.
We know exactly what's going on with this engine.
If you have an airplane and you want to avoid overheating your cylinders, get one of those bad boys. It's really beautiful, actually.
And they do make them in different flavors. This is the full color display. You can get all the same information out of what they call the monochrome display, and you have to flip between the different items. This one is nice because we see all of the different values on the screen all the time. We do have a switch where we can flip the bottom display to fuel flows or exhaust gas temperatures. I just like to leave it on all, so it flips through all the values on the bottom. But I can see everything at a glance on this instrument, which is fabulous.
Awesome. So we're over the eastern shore now. This is the eastern shore of Maryland. And just across the bay over there on the other side of Dean, that would be the western shore.
Actually, if you want to be more specific, that would be Aberdeen Proving Grounds.
He beat me to the punch.
Yeah, we cannot fly there, and I wouldn't want to.
And that's on your 4 flight right there.
Yep. So there's Aberdeen Proving Grounds. That's this restricted area that we're looking at right here. We're going to stay over here, to the right side of that, because we don't want to we don't like surprises. So we won't go there.
I've been on this water on this side when they've been shooting stuff over there. It's loud.
I've been on base when they were dropping the bunker busters that were used in Iraq.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah, I had no idea. And
was it loud?
I was in the basement of one building, and I have never heard or felt a single shockwave like that. And we were actually probably 4 miles from where they actually did the testing.
Wow. That's right. So today Dean is the pilot in command because, well, he's a licensed pilot. He's not a student pilot. So since you were turning around there, I was admiring your turns. How about we do a steep turns to the left and to the right?
All right, you know where the barf bags are, right?
Say that again?
You know where the barf bags are?
I don't need a barf bag.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a heading that I can easily reference coming out of the turn. Like the bend in the river right here.
It's amazing how many people don't actually set themselves up for success like that, since it's a really smart thing to do. Especially when you're in a flat area like this, and we've got rivers, you can pick up some good spots.
Alright, so we're at 3,500 feet. I've done enough clearing turns. I think we're just fine. We could still end up with a surprise, but I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. I'm looking too.
I just spotted an aircraft on that sweep around there. Kind of caught me off guard.
All right.
He's not on the ADSB, but I got a glimpse of him. But he's a good 500 feet below. And we'll roll it out. I'll leave the trim in, and we'll unwind it.
What's your altitude?
I let that get away from me a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm actually fighting the trim and I didn't have to. That was really stupid.
Nice. Well done, nice. That was nice and smooth. It's a good day for doing this stuff.
Yeah, the BFR I just did actually. I was fighting the bumps. It was a kind of a nasty day. It wasn't real hot, but it was not a comfortable flying day. Especially if I'd had a non-flying passenger with me, they probably would not have enjoyed that the bumps that day.
How about some slow flight?
I am going to take one more look for that one aircraft.
Good
right
call.
Here. He was headed that way. A good 500 feet below. So if he was going that way, I'll take it this way. I can't see him, but that's alright. I gotta watch the cooling on the engine for slow flight today, but we'll see what we can do here.
That there is Chestertown, right?
That would be Chestertown.
Good old Chestertown.
Alright, we'll bring the RP goes in. Bring the throttle back. Keep it at 3,500 feet. Start rolling in the trim.
How about all the flaps?
You want to go flaps?
Full flaps.
That?
Full flaps. Well, watch the cylinder head temperatures while we're doing this. They look like they're fine.
Yeah, they're going to start to creep up on us.
We won't do it for too long. Great. Wonderful. And when you clear this neighborhood over here, how about we transition into a landing, an approach to landing stall? As you know, the ACS now calls it an approach to landing. So you actually will set up a descent as if you're coming down to the runway and then ease back for the stall. By the way, Dean's doing a great job.
I'm going to take it over this farm field here.
He's doing a killer job. Like, he's turning the plane in slow flight. He's doing a really, really good job here. which I expected because Dean is a pilot. He flies regularly.
This airplane will hang on the nose forever.
So, okay, we got to descend, so whenever you're ready.
I'll just keep easing up and easing up, and there it goes. There's the warning. And it'll stay there for a ridiculous amount of time. And there we go.
Nice.
Had some air going over those cylinders again, but we didn't
Nope.
didn't end up where I thought it was going to go.
Stayed in the 300s. That was good.
And that was only about a 300-foot loss, all total.
It was good, but remember, you were also in a descent because we were doing that landing to approach, so it wasn't bad. I mean, all right.
Yeah, I have to say that this airplane over any other 172 I have ever flown, there he is.
There he is.
He's monkeying around down there at low level, so.
All right, so find a spot where you're comfortable, and let's go ahead and do a power on stall.
It has been a long time since I've done a power on stall in this airplane.
So the procedure on a power on stall is that you're going to pull power back, you're going to hold altitude until you get to your rotate speed. When you get to your rotate speed, you're going to push in, you can do like 3/4 power, nose up, and then I know it's going to hang, but get it back to the stall point. So it simulates that takeoff.
Alright, so I'm going to slow.
Yep. Maintain your altitude as you slow down, get to your rotation speed, and then go into your powers if you would for a takeoff. You don't have to do full power, but you at least want 3/4.
Sorry, I keep smacking on the knee there. Not trying to get fresh here.
Sure, I know you, Dean.
It's a little cramped. Little cramped.
Yeah, I got news for you folks.
Unless you're in 747, you
Dean's
don't
over
got a
here,
lot of
he's
room.
been rubbing my knee, we just haven't been talking about it.
The only way I'm going to get this thing back to rotation.
And you have to pull the power.
RP. Alright, back to 3,500. Want to stay away.
What's the rotate on this?
Between 50 and 60 miles per hour, by the way. This airplane's this is an oldie.
60's good, man. Don't forget your carb, you need to have it in on takeoff. Alright, rotate, pitch up. Here we go. And what we're looking for here is coordination, keeping the ball centered.
Takes a lot with this engine too.
Just keep pulling her back. Here she comes. She does not want to go over. Folks, we're just hanging on the prop. There she goes.
Yep,
Cover.
there it goes.
Oh, but.
Alright. And that's why I don't particularly like doing that maneuver with this airplane, because it will hang on the nose forever.
Nobody likes doing that maneuver ever. Awesome. Good job, Dean. It's all part of spin awareness, so in order to spin an airplane, what's the first thing you have to do?
Gotta stall it.
Gotta stall it.
We're not gonna spin this one, but I've spun the Cherokee 140s. Because it is part of the curriculum in Canada. I believe it still is. I may be wrong on that, but
I think it's a good idea to take students up that, like, maybe just before their private pilot check ride and do that, but it's not required. I think the more aware you are of the situation, the better pilot you're going to be. But they don't make us do that until we're going to become CFIs in the States.
not at all.
No. Once you become when you become a CFI, you have to get a spin training endorsement.
Yeah, that's actually in my logbook as a private pilot.
It's awesome. And you get
it's not something I particularly care to do. And if anybody has ever flown a Cherokee 140, it's an airplane that doesn't really even want to stall.
no, it doesn't.
And just to get one to to stall and spin. Actually, it has to be forced into doing that.
So, where can we do some landings?
I think we got, where are we now? We're just over, we got Ridgely right behind us.
Take a quick ride over to Ridgely, and that'll bring back some memories for me, because that's where I did my instrument and commercial, a lot of it over there on the shore.
And Ridgely is one of those spots where, even if it's a completely calm day everywhere else, Ridgely always seems to have a crosswind.
Yeah, speaking of Ridgely, so the plane that I did all my instrument training and all my commercial training in was an Arrow November 7619 Juliet, and 2 CFIs and a commercial applicant student went over there one day on a day when they shouldn't. They had no business doing 180 engines out at Ridgely, and in a crosswind they cartwheeled the airplane.
Oh no.
Yes, and it was ugly. Nobody died, but there was plastic surgery and there was definitely blood on the aircraft. It was not good. And of course my beloved 7619 Juliet that I had so many hours in was totaled.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear that stuff. And one of the other things I like to do is pull the carb heat out every once in a while, just to make sure we don't have any bad stuff forming. On a day like today with the high humidity, probably a good idea to check it once in a while.
Yeah, I was down in Nicaragua flying with the minister down there when we were there in 2011, and we were flying down the Pacific coast of Nicaragua to overfly my friend's property. He started getting a rough engine, and I said, "So what do you think the problem is?" And he goes, "I don't know." I said, "Well, look at your temperature gauge. It's 70 degrees out." He goes, "It can't be the carburetor ice." I said, "Really? You don't think it's carburetor ice?" He goes, "No." And he was fussing with all this different stuff, and I just went like this, whoop, and pulled the carb heat, and the engine went. He looked at me, he goes, "I never would have thought of that."
Yeah, we've had a fellow at the field who actually had carb ice up on. Unfortunately, he was actually right over Ridgely on a beautiful day. But you know, you got to keep conscious of those the humidity level.